Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Navneet, and in today's video I'm gonna recommend you some short books which I think are beginner friendly. If you have a time to spare, you can read those one and finish it in a day, or maybe some of them in like an hour or two. But these books will leave some impression on you. That's what I feel. And I don't think so I feel wrong about these books because I really like these books. I really enjoy these books. And also I think I can prescribe these books as cure to anyone's reading slump. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. The first book that I have is We Should All Be Feminist by Chimamanda Adichie. This book is an essay summary of her TED Talk. You can watch that TED Talk, it's beautiful. I remember when I watched that TED Talk and read this book, I think 5-6 years ago. I love this book, and this book genuinely talks about, and Chimamanda in her TED Talk highly talk about why everyone need to be a feminist, be it's a female, male, or any gender. Why we need that? Why is it important to be a feminist in modern day world, where we try to shame girls, where we don't try to teach the boys to be feminist, because we need that. And it is important because there are so many areas in society where we discriminate on the sexual basis. If it's a girl, she cannot do that. If it's a guy, he can do that. So I think it is a very beautiful and easy read, and it will gives you a very beautiful, it offers a very beautiful light on a modern day feminism, where it starts from a home, and it starts when you teach your boys to be a feminist as well. So I think it is a very important read for everyone. Everyone should read it, and it's not very long. I don't think so it's even a 50 pages long. If you cannot read it, I will suggest you to watch the TED Talk. The second book that I have is The Blue Umbrella by Ruskin Bond. This book is basically a children's classic, and it's based in a very small town of Himachal Pradesh, where this young girl falls in love with the blue umbrella, as the book title says, the blue umbrella. And in order to get that, she exchanged her lapid claw pendant with those tourists and got the umbrella. And then that umbrella starts the whole chaos in her life, because everyone in her village envies her. Mind you, she is just a girl, but there are people who are elder, who are old, they even envy her on that umbrella. So this story really talks about envious, how people envy you on the basis of very small things. And it also talks about forgiveness and how you feel empathy toward other people. I think even as a kid you will enjoy this book, because I think this book is also turned into a graphic novel. But I think it is important for kids to read this book, because it shows you how important is it to forgive some people, how important is it to feel empathy toward other people. So if you have time, please read this one. The next book that I have is Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. I think that's how you say the last name. So this book is a story of Siddhartha, who was born in ancient India, and how he had wealth, pleasure, but he decides to left everything and in order to pursue wisdom. This book is also teaches you about how important is it to be in the real world in order to get more life experiences, to gain more wisdom about the world. You cannot learn these things from the institute, like school, colleges. It is important to go to those places, school, colleges, but it's a real world that teaches you how to live that life, how to be in that flow state of spirituality. So if you are into spirituality and you follow wisdom, I think this book is a really good read. The next book that I have is, everyone loves this book, A Little Prince. This book looks very whimsy from the cover, but it is not whimsy at all. This book teaches you about loneliness, when this young prince comes to an earth and he start to learn about life. I don't think so there are enough words to describe this book. People cry. My tears welled up when I was reading this book. It looks like a kid's book. It is not actually a kid's book. And even in general, that's what I feel when I read any book that labeled as a kids classic or children classic. It is usually give very beautiful fluffy feeling to kids, but when you read these books as an adult, you learn those metaphors, you get to know about those metaphors. And I think that's the same feeling The Little Prince gives me, because it teaches you about loneliness, friendship, love in a very beautiful way. And the last book that I have is Maharani Jinda. I don't have a copy of that book with me right now. So I've read that book in Punjabi, which is my mother tongue. The book is story of last queen of Punjab, Maharani Jind Kaur. The book talks, it's not a very long book, and I believe this one is translated in English as well. If you don't speak Punjabi, you can buy that book and you can read it in English as well. So the book talks about the story of Queen Jind Kaur, how she was betrayed by the people from her own court, how she was separated from her son by the Britishers. The book is very beautiful, and I think it is very important for me because I raised in Punjab, and it is a part of my culture and it is a part of my history. And I think also one of the great example of feminism that I have seen when I was kid, even though at that time I was not aware of the term feminism, but she was the woman I could see and idolize in my life, and how she stayed strong and she was so young when she became queen. So if you have time, you can read that one as well. So these are the 5 books that I had, and if you like the video, please let me know, and I will see you in the next one.